Welcome to the show, Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Today's theme of the show, Project Mayhem and you. Oh, yes. So, if you have not watched Fight Club in a while, I highly recommend firing up one of my favorite movies. It is spectacular. Fight Club, if you've not seen it in a while, you've got to see. You've got to remember, one part in Fight Club is Project Mayhem. And Project Mayhem was this fight against big corporations and a couple other things. But what else is going on is not important. What I am considering is starting my own Project Mayhem in real estate. And this is what Project Mayhem is. I'm going to go full in on the world is ending, even though I know that to not to be true. But what I think I'm going to start doing is just going right after the clickbait stuff, just like everybody else is. World's getting in, market's going to crash, get out of real estate. Like you got to get out. Now's a terrible time to buy. There's going to be all these deals out there, and you just need to wait. Just scoop them all up. Even though the data is completely to the contrary. In fact, I'm looking at an article here. It's actually on Bigger Pockets of all places. It says Fannie Mae is preparing for a housing downturn. Here's what they said. Bum, bum, bum. Click on this article. Take my training class because it's only I who can navigate you through the peril of a housing crash. So basically, Fannie Mae is saying, hey, there's going to be about a 13% decrease in sales in 2023. This is number of homes sold. And here's what we know. And I'm already seeing it. I am making offers on $1 million plus properties like it is going out of style. We are seeing some, how can I put this? Some turbulence in the $1 million plus market. I mean, I looked at a house today, looked at two houses today. And one of the houses I looked at, there's another house down the street that's a comparable that just went under contract. House was listed, I want to say $800,000 or $900,000. They took $150,000 price reduction, and then it went under contract. During the summer, that house would have sold for $800 to $900 all day long. So we're seeing some slowing down. Well, here's what I think is actually going on. These people need to sell for some reason. They're willing to sell now, even though they have equity. Like, these people are not losing money. I think that's an important note to make. These folks are not losing money. They're just making less money than if they had sold 6 months ago. But a lot of these houses have equity in them. But I'm seeing that $1 million plus home market slow way down. Like the brakes got applied at 100 miles an hour in a Porsche on I-10. Like they just got the brakes slammed on them. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm going back and forth on a multi-million-dollar listing right now. They started at almost 1.4. And the conversation I'm having with them is 750. It needs rehab. It probably needs 100 G's inside, 50 to 100 G's outside. And this particular property, we were negotiating this past summer, and my number was 750, and they're like, well, our bottom line, like, you don't understand, dude. You don't understand real estate around here. It's one of those things. You don't understand real estate around here, and we're not going below 1.15. Well, they took a $250,000 haircut a few months ago, and we're going back and forth with the agent right now, and they're like, well, our bottom line number is now 900. I'm like, okay, well, I guess my new bottom line is 700. So how long are we going to chase this falling knife? If you believe the market is crashing, how do you know when to buy? I think that's one thing a lot of people miss. They believe, because they're so smart, that they can time the market bottom. And I'll tell you right now, you absolutely cannot. Sorry, I'm moving this chair so I can put my leg up here. I'm doing my Captain Morgan impression. So a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm just going to buy at the bottom. How do you know it's the bottom? Because you damn sure don't know when it's the top. So all of a sudden, you who buy 2 houses a year, 3 houses a year, 5 houses a year, with your economic clairvoyance, are now going to tell us where the top and the bottom of the market is. You know, folks that went to school, like real school, like Ivy League school, like rocket science guys that now work in finance, cannot pick tops and bottoms. So you think you can. I'm telling you, you can't. If it's a good deal and it cash flows, you buy it. I will tell you this. I'd have to go back and look at the data, but I believe this to be true. Maybe one time in Houston history, we have never had a reduction in rents. Rents have always gone up. For like 9,000 years, rents have always gone up. So that's why I tell people, if it cash flows, who cares? Ultimately, your net worth goes down. I think, what did Elon Musk lose in like 1 month? Like a 200, was it 200 million in net worth? It was something like that. I don't think his lifestyle changed any. Pretty sure it didn't. If your real estate cash flows and goes all the way worth, in other words, it's worth $0 or $1, that doesn't mean you're filing for bankruptcy. You got cash flow coming in. So I think in Project Mayhem, are you going to join me, Rob? Yeah. Okay. We got it set up as the one-man shot, which is okay.
How we doing?
So I'm introducing them. Do what? Yeah, we're recording right now, doing the show. So I'm introducing the concept of Project Mayhem. I don't know if your mic's hot yet. I'm introducing the Project Mayhem, just like in Fight Club. So I'm telling everybody to watch Fight Club, and it's not hot yet. So this is what Project Mayhem is. I'm going to give in to all of the idiocy that the market is crashing. So I'm going over this report. This is the Fannie Mae report that is posted on our good friends over at Bigger Pockets. That's a little inside joke.
Yeah.
Brandon's a good guy. I won't tell you that. Brandon's a good guy, but come on. Anyway, it said Fannie Mae is predicting a 13% downturn in sales in 2023. And I'm like, well, yeah, if rates continue to climb or stay the same, that's going to happen. But then Redfin jumps in and says, there's going to be a reduction in prices like we're already experiencing now. So 6 months ago, houses would sell for 101% of their list price.
Yep.
Now, in September, that's the last point they have data for. In the doldrums of September, they'll call it Black September because of the blood in the streets and real estate.
Yeah.
They're selling at 98.9% of list price.
But the list price between September and
Now it's probably higher.
is higher, yes.
Right. It's so stupid. Like, I just can't handle it anymore. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to run around in Project Mayhem and tell everyone that the world is ending. The world is ending. Sell all your get out of real estate. Get into Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, that's our joke, right? It's like, I think the market's going to crash. I'll buy all your real estate.
I'll buy your
If
entire.
it's going to crash, I'll buy it at a discount so you can get
get out now.
Yep.
If you guys seriously think there's a real estate crash coming, I will look at all your portfolios today.
Hey, hang tight. We'll be right back from this message. Thanks. Oh, you could do it. We got to do the what you call it, the mastermind.
Mastermind what?
The mastermind price is going up.
Welcome back, Jason Bible, Robert Orfino.
Nope. Start over. We're starting new.
Well, we are? Oh, that sucks. Well, we're going to get rid of my first segment?
No, you can go back and finish that after this.
Oh. All right.
Let's put 2 in the can today.
Okay. It's Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
The world's ending, Rob.
It is.
We're gonna fire up Project Mayhem. Here's what I was thinking about doing. You know, we've got the Red Talk next week, right?
Nope.
It's not. It's a week after. Oh, it's a week after that. What are you looking at? What's Katie doing?
Okay.
All right. Project Mayhem. Mm-hmm. And I think this is how I'm going to do Red Talk. I'm going to start the first 20 minutes with the world is ending. And I'm going to get everybody all worked up.
Yeah.
And then I'll go, I'm just kidding.
No, I'll
data.
dress up like Mr. Potter, and I'll be in the back of the room buying everything at 50 cents on the dollar.
That's right, yeah. Everything's going to be on sale.
50 cents on the dollar.
Which 50 cents on the dollar takes you back to like 2017 prices. So if you weren't buying real estate in 2017, you're not going to buy it when it's 50% off. So sorry, I'm just not buying it. But I was also telling the fine folks at home here that some of our properties that we're making offers on above $1 million have come down substantially.
Good.
So 2 months ago, someone's bottom line, rock bottom number, you don't understand, I got all these offers, at 1.1 million is now 900.
Not forward looking.
Yeah, and I said,
Not understanding.
I said, hey guys, my offer's still 750, and it's going to start to drop pretty soon here because the market is starting to change. So up to y'all what you want to do. I can wait. Can you?
Yeah, I think a lot of people that pushed their property out at a peak number in late August are in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Should fire their agent. Because their agent should have been a little forward-looking, saying, hey, there's a natural dip in the market here. It's probably going to go down 4 to 5%. Peak season's over. Yeah. No one's interested in buying a lake property or a beach property in January. Yeah. So we got to do some different things. And that all comes down to the agent. I really believe it all comes down to the agent. The agent's job is to get the owner and the seller and the buyer back to reality.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is what the market is, and you're not going to find it, you're not going to find a buyer at that price, right? And they have it. So it's been on the market 4 months now.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
At least.
There's the other one that's been on the market for over a year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. I mean, you're seeing that price compression, that $1 million.
Yep.
We got together with a couple of guys yesterday. We're sharing notes. There are about a dozen of us, and the Airbnb communities that were hot during the summer are, our Airbnbs, with exception to the last two I just bought, or the last one I just bought.
Yeah. At
$500,000, most of ours are in the $200,000 to $300,000 range.
Oh yeah.
They're much
180,
$200,000.
I have a duplex that the costing is 180. Well, even with the furniture, 230.
It is super easy for us to cash flow as long-term rentals or an Airbnb. In fact, even Colby's bigger properties, because Colby's got some real bangers in there, $500,000-$600,000 houses.
Yep.
Those are cash flowing with long-term tenants.
Well, we shifted his. This is what we do. We shifted the priority over the winter was, hey, 6-month lease available, furnished apartment.
Oh yeah.
Furnished house, and so all of a sudden it's phenomenal. He's getting his 1.25 DSCR across the board.
Yeah.
People love it, right?
Yeah.
So, we're covering our expenses, so we're not losing during the winter, right? Mm-hmm. And that's, we're getting deeper and deeper into Airbnb, but, as we get more refined and more sophisticated, it is how do we just not lose money during winter? Because if we can just break even during the winter, then the whole year is massively positive.
Oh, yeah.
What we've been typically doing is losing money over the winter months from October, November, December, January, February, March, and then doubling our income during the peak season, right?
Peak season is massive.
So now if we can figure out a way to cover the downside with just a 1.25 DSCR, holy cow.
Yeah, and it's really just November and January. And a little bit of February.
Yeah, we had a good October. We definitely had a good October. So we shifted ours, a good portion of the management's the portfolio that we manage for other people and the stuff that we have, we shifted, I'd say about 40% of them to the new description, long-term rental available, 30-day rentals available, blah, 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 at a very reasonable rate for them and still at 1.25 DSCR.
Yeah.
Which is, if you're listening, you don't know what DSCR is, debt service coverage ratio. It's basically saying if my principal, interest, taxes, insurance, management fee, and utilities are at $2,000 a month, I need to rent it at $2,500 a month, which is a 1.25 ratio.
Right.
And we can get $2,500 a month all day long for those 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms we have along the coast.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. But yeah,
but I'll tell you, man, there were a lot of guys who were doing a little bit of belly aching yesterday, and it was like, hey, it was worth $650. We got a recent appraisal. It's worth $450 now. And you're like, ooh. And they're like, hey, Jason, what do we do about that? And I'm like, and it was funny because somebody said at the table, well, if the DSCR works, it'll appraise. I said, no, it won't. That's not how single-family financing works.
Right.
It has to appraise on a comparable analysis basis.
Right.
And then the long-term or short-term rental has to cover 1.25 of the debt.
Yeah, someone's bringing cash.
Right. So, or someone's bringing cash. So I was like, someone's bringing 150 G's to closing because it lost value.
Or probably another 60 to carry it for a year and do Airbnb and limp along. And then, when that market bounces back up to 550, 600 exit.
Yeah. And these were properties that were bought, rehabbed for Airbnb. But they were deep in the 5, 6, 7s. And
where were they? Do you know?
Galveston.
Of course. I mean, that's dead.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of guys don't kind of miss the memo there. Airbnb in Houston, the greater Houston area, has increased by 1/3 this past year. We had about 10,000. Now we have about 15,000 listings. Yep. So we got 5,000
as
more.
well as Airbnb overall being down.
Yeah.
Stays because hotels open back up.
That's right.
Well, I mean that's part of who you're using for your manager and who you have it with. And if you think hey, I was gonna let my girlfriend do it. She wants to have fun. It's like, hey, 30% of what we do on the Airbnb side is marketing.
Yeah.
Right, and then we're blessed with 100,000 people that we can hit up at any time. So we'll market directly to those 100,000 people and say, hey, who wants to do Thanksgiving at the beach? Let us know. We've got some properties right now that will book into you at a very fair rate, right? So at least we can get a week's worth of rentals there. And then, hey, does anyone want to do a beach weekend? Or in our case, because we do education and do networking with folks, we're going to have an Airbnb class at our Airbnbs.
In the down season.
Yes, in the down season. Twice in the down season. Imagine that. All right?
Hey there.
You want to learn Airbnb? I'm going to stay 3 nights at my Airbnb, and we're going to go through 2 days of training.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I was thinking? We need to bring the private money raising class back because I've been thinking about this networking thing and how to raise money and $1,000 to $2,000 per ticket to get in.
$3,600 a ticket.
Oh, we did it back in the day.
If you were in the mastermind, it was you got 2/3 off.
Okay.
So it was $1,200.
I think we bring that class back.
Well, we should, but everyone's going to give you a special software program that automatically is going to help you raise $10 million.
Yeah, it's just
I'm showing you where you're going to have to put your time and effort and resources into.
I love teaching.
People don't like that.
No, they don't like that. Yeah. I love teaching the networking piece. I'm like, all right, let me show you guys how to network.
Yep.
This is how you talk to people. This is this.
Oh,
this is the private lender table. Like I was thinking about. I've been thinking about it for the last week or two. I'm like, man, we need to do that class. $3,000 a head would be very reasonable. You get your first private lender.
Hey, you make it back in a heartbeat. Yeah,
you make that $3,000 is a super cheap investment.
Hey, everyone, this is Robert and Jason with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Hang tight. We'll be back. All right, I guess we're finishing your show because we have to do the Mastermind Evergreen, remember?
Oh, I didn't know that's what we were doing. You said the Mastermind. I'm like, okay.
No, we're doing a price going up. Okay. Let's do 2 more. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, thanks for joining us. As always, we appreciate you guys listening to us at night. And if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or any other of our platforms, we appreciate it. Yeah, I think this is a good winter to bring some of those classes back because we had COVID the last two. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to do 2 Airbnb classes over the weekend at our Airbnbs.
Okay.
And then we should do the private money. Yep, we should do that
the private money class.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Maximum of 20 people because we can't. It's hard to teach with like.
Yeah, last time I maxed it at 10.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, it's just 10, but we can push it out a little bit.
I think we do 20, $3,000 a piece to come to class, and we'll do a dinner and we'll
do the real
dinner
stuff.
and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, we're getting a little traction on our club.
Oh,
it's not. We don't have the legal documents. Damn, we can't announce it.
Oh, we can't talk about it.
No,
yet?
we can't talk about it. We don't have the legal documents. Dang it.
We're getting in the hospitality business, which technically we already are.
We're getting into it in a very cool way.
Yeah.
But everyone I talk to tells me that we need to do this because no one's got a good space in town.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
There's no good places in town to.
And one of the guys in our mastermind is a high-tech lo-fi guy, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll figure out all the acoustics. I'll make sure you hear it perfectly over every.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, that's what I need.
A guy that does that really well it is worth its weight in gold. I got a buddy of mine in his house. He's got a pretty big house, but probably 3,300 square feet. I think he spent close to 100 G's on audio video. And it's mostly all the audio stuff. Yeah,
we're
having
not,
a party there this weekend.
We're not going to spend 100 grand.
No, we're not going to spend 100 grand. But you're anywhere in that house, it sounds spectacular.
Yeah, right? That's what it should be. Yeah. Instead of...
Or like one room is turned up so loud, and you're in that room and it's awful, but you can hear it just fine in the next room.
Yeah, I was like...
Two claps.
Two. That's awesome.
Anyway,
Oh
we got a lot of good stuff going on. But we'll bring out those classes. I think we'll do November, January, we'll do the private money, and then February we'll do another Airbnb. I think that's what we'll do. So I'll set November up pretty quickly here. Maybe even the first weekend of December. I'm still in town. Yeah.
And then I wonder if we do that one quarterly.
It just fizzles out.
Yeah.
It just fizzles out. It's twice a year.
Twice a year, yeah.
Yeah. Same thing on the private money, just twice a year.
Yeah.
Yep. I have that 2-day project management class for flipping.
Yeah.
And that's very good class, yeah.
3 G's a piece. Like, guys, what you will learn.
If you're serious about it, yeah, it's 3 G's, right?
You will save $3,000 in the first 10 minutes.
Just learning so you don't have to you want to learn more so you have an excuse not to do, and, it's not going to be worth it for you.
Which is, quite honestly, most of you guys anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 90% of you. So I've been digging into the cash flow quadrant.
Oh, my God.
Again.
Okay.
And I bought the book because I don't know where my last one is. Oh, you know what? Now I remember where my books are. I just bought like 10 books. I couldn't find them. I just remembered where they are.
Where are they at?
In a bookcase that I never use. It's kind of turned around to stop the dog from getting into one of the rooms.
Oh, at the house.
Yeah. Dang it.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
That's pretty funny.
Well, now I got books to give away, so we'll give them away at the.
Oh yeah, we give away. We don't give away our book. We give away other people's books.
Kiyosaki's book and Cleary's book. Yeah. But we made a statement to the folks on our mastermind and on the radio. Hey, if it just cash flows just a little tiny bit, buy it, right?
Yeah.
And any single family now under $180,000 within the greater Houston metropolitan area, buy it.
Buy it. Just don't even look at it.
Just buy it.
We'll take that.
Even though you might not cash flow that first year.
Oh my God.
So that freaked people out. And then you and I both separately worked on our own little pro formas and calculators. Mm-hmm. And we always knew it to be the truth. We just didn't quantify it and put it into a calculator to show the actual return.
Yeah, the 5-year return.
Right.
Which you do that in commercial real estate all the time. You just don't do it in single family.
Yeah, you do the net present value and the future value and do all that stuff. Yep. But you don't do it in single family. And that's what made me think, and going all the way back to, that big guru in California.
Oh, yeah.
That tell the story. This guy, Bruce Norris, is the Jason Bible of California real estate.
He's entertaining as hell on stage.
He's really, really good. He knows his stuff, and he's motivational, and he's been doing it. He's also a hard money lender. He's probably one of the top real estate minds that I've met, right? Yeah.
done this for like a gazillion years.
And really tied into the foreclosure
deals.
market and Fannie Mae and understanding all the loan process.
He was the guy. If I remember, Fannie Mae has him come out to speak, don't they?
Or
is it the home builder?
The California Home Builders Association.
California Home Builders.
But then they booed him off stage because he told them the market was going to crash, and he said, "Sell everything this year." And they booed him off stage.
Like, oh, you're not inviting me back for telling the truth?
Well, 10 years later, they brought him back.
Oh, did they? Oh, it only took 10 years.
Yeah. Anyway, he said, I had him at one of my events in California, and I said, well, if it doesn't cash flow, how can you buy a rental in California and none of them cash flow? And he didn't say it to the audience. He just kind of whispered it. That's a very immature way of looking at rentals.
Oh.
Just kind of off to the side, just so I heard it. And I'm like,
Ooh.
Well, I did my homework, and here I am 7 years later. I'm like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So when people are like, well, it doesn't cash flow, I'm like, that's a really unsophisticated way of looking at real estate. And we start putting the tagline out. Here's our new tagline. If your investment doesn't make a triple-digit rate of return annualized, you're investing in the wrong product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even at anywhere between 3 and 5% a year appreciation with the real estate that we're buying is triple-digit rates of return.
Yep.
It's pretty easy to do the math.
Right.
And then once you refinance at some point and get most of your capital out, the return is absolutely insane.
That's the issue for most folks. They're living in that E quadrant is how I'm sort of quantifying it, right?
Yeah.
You're living in this E quadrant. I need more cash. Right? Well, the people with debt, obviously, cash never solves that problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't manage your money, you can't manage your money,
right.
Period. Total caveat. In that book, boy, he had a great quote in that book.
Mm-hmm.
He said, 401ks are for poor people who want to be poor in retirement.
Oh.
I was like, wow, that's devastating. It's Kiyosaki's quote, not me. And I might be messing up a little bit, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
See if you can find it.
Well, I'll bring the 2 books in because
okay.
I'll give you one.
Well, I mean, someone run a quick search. What's the percentage of folks that actually retire well with a 401k? It's got to be less than 1%.
Yeah. So we had someone from our mastermind last night. We were doing the property hunt. And I said, hey, you retired? He said, yeah. He said, you just retired. How many years were you in the industry? He said, I did 35 years of IT.
Wow.
I said, wow, that's great. I said, can I ask you how much you had in your 401k at the time of retirement? He said, $1.6 million.
Okay. 35 years, 1.6.
I was like, wow. I was like, I'm showing people how to make $2 million in 5 years.
Yeah.
And he looked and said, yeah. He said, if I had to do it all over again, I'm like, yeah, I bet, right?
Just buy it.
So, again, the way we're looking at this stuff and the path that we're teaching folks, triple-digit returns.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can come on out to our 3-day complete real estate investing. Go to mrtxrei.com, mrtxrei.com. But let me state it again and make sure you understand exactly what I'm saying. If your investment product is not giving you triple-digit returns on an annualized basis, and I'll put the caveat in, over 5 years, you're investing in the wrong product. Hey, stay tuned. We'll talk a little bit more about this. This is Robert and Jason, world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Hang tight.
So will we start now, or is this the last segment?
This is the last segment.
Okay.
Yep.
Whenever you're ready.
Did you find the quote?
No, I was looking for something.
Okay.
Oh, let me look for it real quick.
Yeah. Hold on. Killing a little time here. Hey, if you guys are on Facebook or on YouTube watching us live, make sure you like, love, subscribe, join, give us high fives, comment, please. If you are not making triple-digit returns, let me put it this way. Give me a heck yeah on the comments if you are making triple-digit returns in real estate. Heck yeah. So give me that comment below if you're making triple-digit returns.
Go ahead and start the show.
Okay, yep. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert and Jason with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, go to our Facebook, go to our YouTube. Make sure you like, love, subscribe, all that stuff. We're on Instagram now. I want to thank you guys. We're getting 7, 8, 9, 10,000 views. Thank you also very much, the folks that are hanging out watching us. And again, I just told everyone on Facebook or on YouTube or even on Instagram, if you see one of our videos, and you just please comment, heck yeah. That means you've heard me and Jason, and you're making triple-digit returns in real estate. Just give us a heck yeah. Whenever I see that, I'm going to know that you're one of us. One of us. One of us. All right, so, yeah, we're talking about this stuff, and it's, again, just going back to that Robert Kiyosaki basic stuff, and this stuff is now 40 years old, right? That cash flow quadrant, getting out of that E and S, that solopreneur, the small business owner, over to the right side of the quadrant, the business owner and the investor, where we're leveraging other people's time and other people's money, is kind of what we're doing in the mastermind.
I will tell you this, like, he does have some pretty good quotes in here. I'm just reading, this is actually an article, it's pretty good. To be clear, this is not a poor person or a rich person problem. We're talking about not just the poor fall for 401k plans.
Yep.
Both the rich and the poor give their money to these experts. This is because having a lot of money doesn't make you financially intelligent.
That is correct.
That's 100%. I've met some incredibly financially ignorant people that make a few $1 million a year. It's crazy. There are many high-paid employees.
How many were you with yesterday?
Oh, yeah. That's true. I've been around some real estate, quote, investors that are not really investors. And I'm like, you really don't understand real estate. There are many high-paid employees who have no idea how to manage their money, and many who lose a lot of money because of it. That's why Warren Buffett said, Wall Street's the only place that people ride to in a Rolls Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. And he's absolutely right. It's like, who are we really taking advice from here? I have been... One of the shockers for me in this industry has been that realization that when you're standing there at the real estate club, and here's this guy that says he's been doing real estate for 20 years, and I'm like, and I start asking him about how big his portfolio is, and I'm like, that's it? Right. What did you do for 20 years?
Right.
You're only worth a couple million, $2 million over 20 years? I'm like, what have you been doing, dude? Like, at 20 years, it'll be, what color plane did you fly to L.A. today, right? Just, I don't get it. So, as much hate as Grant gets, at least he's built $1 billion portfolio.
Heck yeah. Yes.
Now, it took him, here's the dirty secret.
Yeah.
It took him 30 years to do it, right?
Maybe more.
Maybe more, yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's like 60-something, right?
60-something, yeah.
He's been doing it since his 20s.
Yeah.
So, this whole idea that, you go to the RIA club, and here's this guy, been doing it 20 years, 15 years, 30 years. I'm like, why aren't you wealthier?
Yeah. So let's put some.
But to go back to 401k plan, I mean, it doesn't work.
Let's put some clarification on what we're talking about. We want to work with people and teach people how to be active real estate investors. That's how you're going to get your triple-digit returns. Now, if you're passive or you have dedicated passive money, then you can go ahead and invest in real estate that's going to give an 8, 9, 10, maybe even higher rate of return. Great. There's nothing wrong with that. It's better than Wall Street, crypto, and the currency market right now, right? Mm-hmm. Again, we've got people around us that have taken a shellacking on the crypto and currency market, just like thinking that they, like the layman, could just jump into that, right? Like it's 1928, right? Where everyone's investing in the stock market, and all of a sudden becoming a genius, right?
I yesterday's show. This is what I said on yesterday's show. It is when my girlfriend and I were in the middle of nowhere, Texas, at a gas station that had a Bitcoin ATM.
That's amazing.
So you've already reached market saturation.
Yeah.
That's why it's not going to jump back up. It lost 60% because the frenzy was over.
Yep.
Everybody, your Uber driver knows to invest in Bitcoin.
Sure, and we'll probably take Bitcoin, right? So that is a great line, and I think we should start using that. This nonsense about financial freedom and not getting people's mindset to move from the left side to the right side is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And most of those people, Most of those people that get on stage in our real estate world that teach financial freedom have not moved over to the right side of the...
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they're still over here, right? They're still small business owners running their business out of a backpack and their third bedroom at their house, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they may have a really nice house in Florida, but again, it's a really nice house in
Yeah, it's like,
Florida.
check out my private jet. I'm like, where's your office building with all your staff?
Right, where is that? Yeah.
Everyone, and you know what's fascinating to me is watching the folks that have Kiyosaki on stage, and I'm like, well, is this guy even doing what Bob says?
No, they're not. No.
And you know, he's kind of a rough guy to be around, right?
Yeah, he's a little tough these days. Yeah.
But when he gets on stage,
and I've never met the guy, so
I haven't met him before.
Yeah.
I've just heard kind of through the grapevine.
Yeah.
He can be a little. He's pretty to the point, right?
yeah.
But I'm sitting there. And
I'm 5 years away from being to the point.
To the point. Yeah,
I'm pretty close right now, but when I'm 60, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? At this point, like,
Yeah.
we really don't.
Yep.
We had a funny conversation at that little get together yesterday when you hit 65. But anyway, so it's yeah, the guys that are on stage, it's like you got a nice car, you do the plane thing, you've got, you know, a nice little house. Where's your staff and your building, and where's the business? Where's the big business? The big
Where is
B?
it? Yeah, where's
in
the
the
B?
in the
Yeah.
Kiyosaki quadrant?
Right. How much money do you really have invested in apartments, right?
Yeah.
$500,000, $1 million? Is that what you're waiting on?
I don't know. I find a lot of that really interesting. And then, you know, how many deals can you do outside of a syndication?
Right. The problem is most of those guys who are preaching how to be wealthy and rich live in a churn world.
Oh, that's true.
It's just constantly how many people through the door, how many people through the door, how many people through the door.
New investors take
So
my
you
fees,
can't
new
learn
investors.
the get real financial intelligence from those people who are living on that left side of that cash flow quadrant. So, yes, that's a great line. I'd rather teach financial intelligence than financial freedom.
The 401k is for people who are planning to be poor when they retire.
Yes, that's it.
That is why financial planners often say when you retire, you'll be taxed at a lower tax rate. They assume you'll make less money when you retire and thus be in a lower tax bracket.
I'm going to make
100%
more
right.
money when I retire.
Right. Yes.
And I will be at a lower tax bracket.
Right, because we've got the write-offs,
Because
right?
we figured it out.
Well,
yeah.
and here's he makes this great point here. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like about Kiyosaki, but there's some of the stuff that's he's
Well, we like Sharon Lecter, right?
Oh yeah, I like Sharon. It's not really It's not really Bob. It's really Sharon. Right?
We don't know that for the cat.
Yeah, I know. But she's in all the books. I think she's the one that kind of
I know.
puts this stuff
We have
together.
assets now, so we could get nasty letters.
We could.
Yeah.
Taxes work against you with a 401k plan. Long-term capital gains are taxed at a lower rate of around 15%, but the 401k gains are taxed at the ordinary earned income tax rate,
Right.
which is much higher and the highest taxation rate of all three types of income: earned income, portfolio, and passive.
Right.
He's 100% right.
So we have a 70-year-old. We have a couple older folks in our mastermind, 70-year-old, and the required minimum withdrawals
Oh yeah, my parents are going through this right now.
and they're getting crushed because
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're going from a zero tax rate, boom, 24%. Like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm giving a quarter of my retirement away to the government.
Yeah, everybody I know that's 71 and a half is bitching and complaining right now. I don't know if we can say it on the radio, Rick, if you got to bleep it out, but there is a lot of unhappy faces at 71 and a half because they're like, hey, I got enough money. You know, we get to do vacations. We got enough money to go out to eat and all. And now all of a sudden, bang, you get slapped with required minimum distributions. It's like, we don't need the money. That's the funny thing. If you've done retirement right, a lot of times you don't need the money.
Right.
If you've done a good job, then you're like, oh, now I got to take these RMDs, which takes me into another tax bracket. So you start paying through the nose for money you don't need.
Hey, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. When we come back, there'll be a little break, and we'll talk about some other things going on. But I do want to remind you that we have a 3-day class coming up in November. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving. It is Complete Real Estate Investing, MRTXREI.com. And then on the first Thursday of November, we have Mortgage Mayhem and Real Estate Mayhem. And that is coming. Go to MRTXRE.com. Go to the event page. You'll find us there. Thanks. You want to do another show?
Sure.
Okay. This is Evergreen. Yep. Darryl, I'm going to make you do a complete new feed on Facebook, okay? So stop the feed on Facebook and all that stuff, and then restart it, and this is big announcement on the mastermind.